So today we are going to be looking at decimal subtraction. We're going to use base 10 blocks and quick pictures to model our decimal subtraction. So just like when we did modeling addition the other day in lesson 3.5, here in lesson 3.6 we are going to use our quick pictures to help us to model this. A flat is going to be equal to 1. A long is going to be 1/10 because it takes 10 longs to equal 1 flat. And then an individual unit is going to be 1/100th, right? Because it would take 100 of these to equal 1 of these. So that's what we're going to be using for our model. Now we're going to take a look here and we have a quick problem, and it's 62 hundredths minus 18 hundredths. And when we do this problem, right, we're going to start by drawing our picture. And you can see here we have 6 longs to equal 6/10ths, and then we have 2 individual units to equal our 200ths. Now, when we get ready to start subtracting, we are going to start by subtracting here in the hundredths place first. Just like when we added the hundredths place first. We're going to subtract the same way. Now, as I look at this, I see that I only have 2 hundredths in 62 hundredths, but I need to take away 8. So I'm going to take this long and I'm going to regroup it into the hundredths place. Well, there are 10 hundredths in 1/10th, right? There are 10 individual units in a long. So I'm going to draw those. Now I'm ready to go ahead and count out 8 of them. Right, so I'm going to circle all but 2 because 10 minus 8 leaves me with 2 of those. Right, and those are going to go away, right? This is me subtracting my 8 hundredths. Now I'm going to move on to the tenths place, and I need to take away 1/10. I'm just going to cross that one out right there. And now I'm ready to write down my answer. Well, here in the hundredths place, I still have 4 units. Here in the tenths place, I have 4 units as well. So my answer to 62 hundredths minus 18 hundredths is 44 hundredths. Let's try another one here. Here we have 84 hundredths minus 57 hundredths. So again, I'm going to start off by drawing my quick picture for 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so I'm going to draw 84 hundredths. Now I need to subtract, starting with the hundredths place and starting with those 7 hundredths. I only have 4. So again, we regroup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I'm going to circle those 7 and cross those off. This leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the hundredths place. Right, if I count up all of these, there are 7 of those left. And then I come over here, and now I need to cross off 5/10ths. Well, I grouped these together, so I know that there are 5 of them right there, which leaves me with 2/10ths that haven't been crossed off. And so the answer to 84 hundredths minus 57 hundredths is 27 hundredths. All right, so let's look at one here. Oh, wait, I don't want to look at that one yet. Sorry, let's see if, there we are, right? So here's a problem, and these numbers are greater than 1. So we're going to do them in a really similar way. We're going to start by drawing the ones place. Here we have 2 ones, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tenths, and of course 1/100th. I'm going to subtract from that 1 and 34 hundredths. Again, I need to do some regrouping. Right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to take 4 of those away. So now I have dealt with my hundredths place. I'm going to go ahead and look at my answer here. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hundredths left. All right, now I need to take away my 3/10ths. So I have 1 here. I'm going to grab 2 more from over there and cross those off. This leaves me with 3/10ths. And then of course I need to take away one of my ones, which leaves me with 1. And so you can see that we can use this model to help us to answer questions that have ones, that have tenths, and that have hundredths. Now all of the ones that we have done have had regrouping in the hundredths place, but they won't all necessarily have that, right? Like if we did 76 hundredths minus 52 hundredths, right? We would start by drawing our 76 hundredths, right? And we would subtract 52 hundredths. Well, we would start here in the hundredths place, so we would take these two and cross those off, which would leave me with 4 in the hundredths place. I would take these 5 and cross those off to deal with the tenths, and I would have 24 hundredths left over, right? So we don't always have to regroup the hundredths place. All of those examples just happen to do that. All right, we're going to look at one final problem. And here it says that Antonio left his math board on his desk during lunch. The quick picture shows the problem he was working on when he left. So what do you think the problem is that Antonio is doing here? Well, we can see that he's drawn a model, right? And this model has 3 ones. We have 5 6 tenths, and then over here we have 7 hundredths, right? It's a subtraction problem because we can see that he's crossing things off. So in the ones place, he has crossed off 2 ones. He's crossed off 1, 2, 3, 4 tenths, and he's crossed off 2 hundredths. And we can even go so far as to write down the answer to this problem, right, by looking and seeing that we have 1, 2 tenths, and 5 hundredths left over, right? So again, that is modeling decimal subtraction with quick pictures, lesson 3.6. Give it a try in your math books, and as always, let me know if you have any questions.